Hi Suk, welcome to this series that we are working on, and I would love for you to tell us a bit about your life, your journey, where it's standing currently, where it started from, and through you, I think a lot of kids will kind of know what kind of careers there are today existent in STEM area and what kind of projects can we do, what are the different approaches. So let's start with what you are doing now, and in near future you are expecting to see the fruition your project has come to. So tell us a bit about that.
Thank you for having me, Aisha. It's seriously lovely. When I say it's seriously lovely, it is about 11:30 p.m. for me in Sydney, and I really mean it that, yeah, it's really lovely to be with you, have this conversation, because we both share the same passion for science, for having more people being part of this beautiful industry and making this a very common thing to discuss science and to talk about science. So thank you for everything that you do. I see different parts, a lot of parts in your question. So to start with, on what I am currently working on. So I'm the global head of partnerships and the Australian ambassador for a all-female led lunar space mission involving 12,000 girls from 108 countries across the world. So we're providing girls between the age 14 and 18. Well, when I say girls, these girls are from the underrepresented communities, from the government schools, from the public schools, not from the private schools. So these girls get an opportunity to learn how to build a satellite for free for 120 hours. So this curriculum is being built by about 20 scientists put together. And it has been vetted by the ISRO's InSpace and by the National Vocational Center for Educational Training, NVSET, in India, under the Ministry of Education. So this is an audacious dream of Dr. Srimati Kesan, who is the only woman or only person in the entire world to have launched 27 student-led satellite missions. So
Oh,
Mission ShaktiSAT is the 28th mission. And here we are.
that's superb. So it's her brainchild. How did you get involved with this? And what all have you contributed in this project?
Good question. So, my journey goes back to knowing Dr. Kasin since 2012, 2013, when I accidentally ended up co-founding a not-for-profit in science and technology called the Robotics and Artificial Intelligence Foundation. So that was a NGO started in India, and I would say that was my first job or
Mhm.
yeah, first proper career opportunity because I started working from when I was 15. So I used to code quad bots, hex bots, and that's how my journey started. And I'm an engineer, electrical electronics engineer, and for me, I felt electronics for boys and embroidery for girls is a big no. I'm like, no, we want, okay, if boys want to learn embroidery, that's a very different story. You're welcome. But, we want more girls creating things rather than being in the back seat and just enjoying, like, what is being given to us. For example, when you look at innovation, we just see only the unicorns are all male driven. All the innovation is, run by men. Um, what have women contributed to? For example, even, if you're going to take about your car and, the airbags, it's actually designed for a man who is maybe, such and such feet tall and who's quite heavy. But a
Yes.
woman is, not that bulky.
Mm.
So even the testing, you're having a mannequin related to a man and you're keeping like the figures of a male figure, and that is how you are testing it. So you're
Mm.
not involving a woman.
Mm.
So, and again, this is not the work of any women done. It is only work of the men, and maybe, yeah, what do you think, like 80-20 or 90-10, I would say.
There's
That is
a book
how.
also by somebody, designed for men. It talks about all the things in this world that are actually designed for just men. So yeah, yeah, like the
That's
sink. You
amazing.
know how we have to bend if we want to wash hands in the sink. So yes, um, yeah.
A lot of things, if you think about it, it is not designed by women for women.
Hmm.
So I feel that was a seed that got me to think, and that was one of the reasons why Brave was started. And that is when I met Dr. Srimati Kesan. She was parallelly taking students to NASA to GCTC, and she was the only person to do that in India at that point of time, like back in 2012s, 13s. So that is how I got connected to her. And yes, I think it's destiny
Hmm.
that, we have to work together. And yeah.
So, like, if you can explain a bit, like, when you join the program, how it does what it aims to do, what are the technicalities of running this project?
Well, you have so many moving parts to it. When we say we're dreaming for a whole world,
Hmm. So,
it,
so many
uh,
stakeholders, right? There must be students, teachers involved, so many people involved. So,
yes.
how does it
Yes.
work?
So it is huge. So the project started by about August 2024, and I got involved by October
Mhm.
2024. And we have so many moving parts to it.
Mhm.
One is students themselves coming on board, but even before that, it is about identifying the ambassadors
Mhm.
who would be part of this mission, who would advocate for this mission, who would talk about it in their country, and who will create that
Okay.
interest,
Yeah.
awareness, interest, and credibility.
Hmm.
Because with so many not so pleasant things happening in this world, when we say it's all female-led space mission and everything is free, you don't have to pay,
Hmm.
then initially, even in Australia, like when I told that to many stakeholders, they were like, "So are you selling the data of the girls?" I'm like, "Oh my
Oh
God,
my
no,
God.
we are not doing that."
Oh,
Because, it comes naturally when someone wants to do something good, right?
there
They're like,
must
"What
be
is in
some
it for
benefit
you?"
involved.
Yeah, without benefit, why would you do it?
Ah.
And the more and more, I had questions coming like that. I strongly believe Dr. Srimati Kesan is so crazy in this entire world. And then I felt, yeah, so am I. I'm equally crazy too, because that trust on another human that we're doing it for free. It's okay, we're contributing our time, our efforts, we give it all. It is quite hard for people to even accept or think, wait a minute, why are you doing this? Do you want to stand for politics? I'm like, no, this is not the interest at all. So for people to first believe it, it needed a lot of traction and, uh, heads turning. So talking about what the mission entailed, yes, we need the ambassadors first so that we have a buy-in from a country. So yeah, Dr. Srimati Kesan, did her thorough research with what are the countries that comply with the UN agreement. That's very important because we don't want to bring countries and say, okay, this country is there, we are not going to sanction, we are not going to work together. No, we want everyone, who have that sense of comradeship and, who have that understanding and partnerships with each other. So that's how the countries were selected. And yeah, we identified the ambassadors. Mostly it was through LinkedIn. And I would say the mission chose the people rather than anything else. So yeah, I would just sit in this very same room and I would reach out to people and say, hey, this is the mission we are doing. Few of them, they jumped on board right away. Few didn't. Yeah, many didn't actually, but yeah, it's a good journey. And once ambassadors came on board, it was about recruiting the students. So interestingly, one crazy work that I personally did, was talking about the data, students' data. with a lot of human trafficking and very unpleasant things happening in this world. My daughter was 17 months at that point of time,
Hmm.
when I was working with the mission.
Hmm.
And I really felt, well, the love that I have towards my daughter, that is the same love I have towards these 12,000 girls who I have not even seen. Because every parent, every mom, takes so much of pain and efforts to, raise that kid and first give birth to the kid. It's really a huge journey. So that made me think, well, I'm going to create 108 individual forms, Google Forms,
Hmm.
for each of the countries because I don't want even the ambassadors looking at other countries' data.
Oh my
So
God.
manually, I created 108 forms. And even
Oh.
more, what was exciting and interesting was
Hmm.
I sent that individual unique form links to the individual ambassadors. Personally, I texted them all
Oh.
these things. So that actually showed me the amount of energy I have in me. Well, I should have actually guessed it because the favorite hobby of mine when I was a child, my granddad bought, do you know the Children's Britannica?
Yeah, I know. I've never read it, but yeah.
So we had this Children's Britannica, which had 28 volumes, A
Uh-huh.
through
Yeah, yeah,
Z. And
yeah.
I think A had two volumes and it was C or, yeah, it had two more volumes. So 28 volumes altogether. And you know what my favorite hobby was?
Mhm.
Yes. I gave you a clue, right, with Children's Britannica. Knowing me, guess what the
Mhm.
hobby would have been?
Yeah, let's do it.
No.
Knowing
I,
you,
mm,
um, some science experiment that you would want to do? No? Okay.
I will take a pen.
Mhm.
I'll start flipping the pages. Like, say, I'm taking the A volume. I would circle the letter, like, I'll circle the words which starts with the letter A
Okay.
throughout the book. Like, say, for example, you have and, I'll circle that A. After, whatever, I'll keep circling that letters A. These are the words that has letter A. I'll do it throughout the book.
Okay.
And then I will go for, okay, let's go for letter B. What are all the words starting with the letter B? I'll put triangle.
Uh-huh.
So I should have realized that, for me, it is about
These
so
kind,
much.
yeah. Right, right, right. I
So
can see the
interestingly, my great grandfather, my mom used to say that, I don't remember, but mom says, my great grandfather, he
connection.
would mix rice and, pulses together
Uh-huh.
in a big katori pe mix karke. He would be like, Papa Kutti, urgent work. Only if you sort it out, they can cook. And I'll sit for 4 hours and
Oh
five
my
hours
God.
and I will just, segregate it and I will get it through. So maybe he knew that, yeah, I could. So for me, it's about you give me large, huge things. My
Yeah.
mind actually works very easily on how am I going to, segregate it. It's very easy for me.
I want to find out the name of this skill. But I can see, and I have seen myself also doing similar stuff. So there
Okay,
should be a name for this activity.
right. We can use our names and name it.
Yeah. Okay, that is actually that adds a lot of transparency to the people involved. And then essentially these ambassador generated interest and the girls involved with the program created their own prototypes of the satellites and what they want to achieve with it.
No, so this program has a structured module. That's why, I was mentioning about the InSpace and the NCVET. where we have these modules spanning over 120 hours, and there are 21 modules, right from your foundational mathematics to your Newtonian physics to ham wave circuitry, PCB designing, to quantum computing, testing, coding, introductions to Python. So it has a huge array of micro credentials that the students would be learning.
And
So
this could be for which age group or student?
14 to 18.
14 to 18. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, students learn this. They get certificates like micro certificates. There are lecture series happening with actually our first series, lecture series was kickstarted by Ron Rosano. So he is a 668th astronaut who traveled the Virgin Galactic.
Oh.
And it was, and very coincidentally, it was started on a moon landing day, which was on the 20th of July.
Uh-huh.
And can you guess, Aisha, what Ron's profession was? I'm
I
sorry to
have
put
no
you on
idea.
spot, but any
I
guesses,
have
any
no
profession?
idea.
It is not a normal, he didn't have science as his background, I can tell that. But
Okay.
can you just, guess what his profession was?
Cook. I don't, nothing's coming.
Nice guess. It is very
Really?
different.
Uh-huh.
No.
Okay.
He was into real estate.
Ah. Okay. We need to stop the guess game now. We can't really. You're,
No, but still, I actually liked it, cook, because people can't think beyond some, astrophysicist or scientist or, they only think about science. I actually liked it that someone told a very different profession than, science. So,
Yes. And
yeah, I
life
loved it.
life does take us through different turns. So we'll talk about that, how it worked out for
Mm.
you. That comes later. First, we
Mhm.
finish
With
what
Mission
actually
ShaktiSAT.
girls do in the. So they go through this whole training with the modules with the instructors who are experts in the field.
We have videos, we have
Right.
questions, quizzes at the end of. So interestingly, we have people from across the world, right?
Mhm.
So English is not a common language
Ah,
for all of them.
yeah.
So we have a curriculum in French, in Spanish.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
So
nice.
it's translated, it is vetted also because you can't just rely on your AI engines
Yeah, yeah.
because
There has to be a supervision done.
yeah, so we've had our local ambassadors and the professors of their countries vetting all the words. They've read through everything, they've vet the whole content. And interestingly, even in India, we have our curriculum in Hindi and Tamil, and yeah, you know,
Superb.
all the work has been happened there. So we do not have someone teaching these children. Rather, it is a self-paced. Children learn to, we have videos, supporting videos. We have supporting literature,
Mhm.
and also there are questions by end of every module. There are about 10 questions at the end of every module, and students answer that. So that's how the whole flow actually goes through. And because it's self-paced, children pause whenever required. They refer to other material. We've also given a bunch of reference materials and everything. So that's how the children get to learn. And this is more about understanding because, when we say building satellite, it's not easy to just keep building prototypes, do. So we felt it is quite important to pique that interest. They
Mhm.
need to know what are the different streams of, say, satellite building, because easily, right? When we say, "Hey, I'm talking about space sector," they're like, "Okay,
Mhm.
astronaut or rocket physicist." These are the
Yeah.
two professions. But it takes about 10,000 professionals to send one person up
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
there are a
space
lot
flight.
more, yeah, a lot more
Right.
than.
And that realization is quite important. And I think that is what we're trying to do through Mission Shakti Sat. And more than that, Aisha, technical skills is one thing. Great. It can be imparted at any point of time. But I also see that okay, so I'll talk you through the flow. So now the student understands, they learn the 120 hours. And after that, what next? So one child from each of the 108 countries, along with the ambassador of the country, will be traveling to India August
Oh.
23rd this year. So it's gone out in the NDTV as well as we speak today. So that's great
Oh.
news.
Mhm.
So we are hosted by the President of India with her support and blessings. We're all there in India, 108 countries coming together.
That is
And
amazing.
yes, and we have four satellites which
Mhm.
are going to come to India. So one from Latvia Space Agency, one from Greece Space Agency. One is a consortium between Alabama and Purdue University,
Mhm.
and the fourth one is from Macquarie Uni from Australia.
Oh,
Yes.
super.
Yes. So we have four satellites coming to India, and each of them they have very specific purposes that they solve.
Mm.
And through these the real satellites that come there, students learn how it is integrated, how it's tested, how it is built. So
Super.
there is an engineering model built as well. So students understand what it is. What does it take? For satellites to be built, because that is a huge. And these satellites will be going up, so it's not just, for testing
So
purpose.
they can see the whole process of sending the satellites to space. That's amazing.
So the sending the satellite to space happened somewhere in October. Like again, it depends on when the PSLVs will take off, and there are a lot of licensing and other things happening there. But definitely, it'll be taking off either with India or with iSpace from Japan. So either ways, it's going to happen. So students
Mm.
see that whole cycle.
Yeah, yeah.
Because yes, it looks very glamorous
Mm.
in a way. Wow, satellite. Oh yes, I can use it. But through Mission ShaktiSAT, what I personally feel is it's not just imparting of technology to the students, because that anyone can learn at any point of time. But the reason behind the 108 coming together, well, they learn about compassion. They learn about what real leadership looks like, because a student in a developed nation would be kind of throwing tantrums that I want the latest PS5, or I
Yeah.
want iPhone 16 or 17, or whichever is the latest, 18 perhaps. And they'll be like, if you're not giving me this holiday, if you're not getting me this toy, I'm not going to eat. But without exaggeration,
Mm.
another child who would be next to them actually is very happy with in getting one meal a day.
Yeah.
And they do not, without exaggeration, there are countries where internet is such a luxury. They're not getting easy access to internet at all. So if these are the situations, we have a lot of challenges within Mission Shakti Set itself, because, well, you don't have internet access, so what are you going to do with the curriculum? It's all we have to thank Zoho here, Zoho Learn, because they have come on board and sponsored
Wow,
the
that's
LMS
super.
platform.
Mhm.
Yes. So thank you to Mr. Sridhar Wembu and his team, that we've got Zoho LMS learning platform. It's called the Zoho Learn, and all our curriculum has been housed there. So that is yeah, great
Super.
news.
Made in India all
Yes.
the way.
Yes, made in India. Yes, that is a very proud thing.
Super.
So, talking about the internet access, not many get this concept as well. Why girls? Take the boys, is a
Huh.
reaction. And we're
Huh.
like, no, we want girls. And many countries, I would say even Australia included, UK included,
Mhm.
we found a very uh, interesting and different way of reaching out to children, because for this, going through the government, going through schools was
Mhm.
not easy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The process is really lengthy. They don't, and I don't blame the system or anything, because,
Hmm.
well, some random stranger comes and says, we're giving it for 108 countries, like
Yeah.
you're one of them, come and take the free curriculum. They're like, who are you? Why are you even doing that? So
Yeah.
they have to vet it, it has to go through the entire
Mhm.
rigorous process. But we don't have time. We don't have the luxury to wait for all the approvals and everything. So, um, being the global head of partnerships, one advantage that I have is Australia is a home for over 200 nationalities, as you know.
Mhm.
So what I kind of I've been working on is especially with Afghanistan, with the things that are not very great there.
Yeah.
So, well, if we cannot have girls from directly from Afghanistan, we have girls from Australia. They are Afghani girls,
Right,
and
right.
we have them part of it. And you know, having a huge population of almost any country here. So I was able to talk to the ambassador of Philippines, Mauritius High Commissioner, and that is how we are connecting and saying, "Hey, send people from your country. I want this to happen. I want that to happen." That is how it is actually rolling out. And yes, I'm grateful for all the challenges because, but for the challenges, I don't think, we would get this far. And I think my story will be very boring. You'd be like, yeah, Suk, let's pack up. Yeah, nice story, great. But I think challenges
No,
make it more
no, no.
interesting.
I don't think it's boring at all. And I think these kind of efforts and people like you and such missions need much more visibility in our culture. As we discussed earlier, we want it to become a culture, science and innovation and stuff. And everyone's doing their bit today, even all the governments. And so do we. Should try and put out our stories out there. So now that comes takes us to the actually a really interesting phase which comes much before you enter such missions, when you are designing uh, the whole life in your mind, when there are nothing's executing but it's just all in your mind, the paths that possibly you can take and what are your interests and what are you like. So let's I don't wish to limit it to a particular age, but like when you were forming ideas, what was the first instinct, what did you want to do, how you pursued it, and where did life take you, which was unexpected, and that ultimately brought you to, getting involved with such projects.
Hmm. Um, where do I start? I'm just thinking, I love sports. I love playing.
Mhm.
And I think I still continue that because, sports is about speed, it's about discipline, it's about consistency. And I've bagged gold medals. I've won medals from PT Usha, madam, like from Madam Shiny Wilson. And, yeah, I started from all girls school.
Were you
So
in Delhi?
I was in Chennai.
Chennai, you're Chennai born.
Yes,
Oh,
yes. So Telugu is my mother tongue,
uh,
and because I was raised in Chennai, I read and write Tamil very well, like
mhm.
a local,
Okay,
and Hindi was my second language.
okay.
So
So
yeah,
multicultural, like most of India, right?
yes.
Okay.
So very surprising because mostly, South Indians are seen as we do not speak Hindi.
Hindi, yes.
Especially we had the anti-Hindi, movement happening long time ago, and that actually resulted in us not. But my work demanded travel, and I married a Mumbaiker.
Ah,
So
okay.
yes, he's Tamil, but yeah, he settled in Mumbai when he was 4 years old, and all his life we still have our home in. We have two homes in Mumbai. So yeah, I love Mumbai, by the way, more than Chennai. I'm sorry to say that, but yeah, that's my journey, and I love playing. Studying in all girls school, it was about sports for me, everything.
That's strange. Okay.
Yes, so I like physics and mathematics a lot because it really challenges, it stimulates my brain and it is really fascinating. But it was all about games for me. I study just before the exams, like say 1 month. And
I
interestingly,
told
I
you we
got
are very similar.
really? But you know
Yes.
what? I was able to get a 199 in mathematics out of 200. And yeah, let me
Oh.
make that clear, 200. Because when I was in my 11th grade, I remember I got 98 in mathematics. And I was super happy. I went to my friend and said, see, I got 98. I'm an inborn genius. And she said, hey, that's for 200, not for 100. I was like, okay. Until then, I was super happy. I was jumping, and I have girls like, yeah, I actually didn't pay attention because I have girls who got 190 crying. And I'm like, and they were like, what? She got 198 or just 98? You know, Suk, yeah, this is what she got. So that's me. Like, I think sports taught me a lot.
Hmm.
Falling,
Hmm.
getting up fast, and no time to, yeah, I fell down. No, keep running quickly. So that continued in my college as well. I took electrical electronics engineering because I love physics and mathematics. And yeah, I
Which
was,
college did you study at?
sorry,
Which college did you study at?
it was in Velamal under the College of Engineering, India, under Anna University. And I got the first cutoff in my college.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And the next one was, yeah, very far off. So yeah, I enjoyed. Well, my college was expecting a gold medal out of me through studies, but no, it was through sports that I was really winning a lot of laurels. And yeah, I passed with distinction. That's really good for me. But I love sports again, and I started working when I was 15. My mom and dad got separated. That's a different story. And I just want some distraction, want to take my head off, time off all these, domestic situations. So that's when I ended up learning how to code quadbots, robots, and, was working with embedded system. And I loved teaching. I
Mhm.
always wanted to be a teacher. I still like continue. I love to do, teaching, and I do because I feel that gives me a lot of satisfaction. Because my mom's side of the family, they were into education. They are into education, and my dad's side of the family, they're into business. And I'm a third generation engineer. Well, the first women engineer, but I'm a third generation engineer in my family. And yeah, that's how my journey began. But everything that happened from my college, like anything, I would say, I'm very happy and proud to say that I have curated all those things. Any
Yeah.
opportunity that
It
comes in,
wasn't
I
like
take it.
you were going through whatever was offered to you, but you were consciously creating your choices, right?
Um, it was a vibe for me when when I was in my uni third year, second and third year, I used to go to other colleges and teach them on, campus interview skills. And not that I've cracked so many, but it was the confidence, I had great mentors when I was studying, and I never was afraid of putting my hand up.
Hmm.
Yes, I might look like I would make a fool of myself, but I was not afraid of laughing at it first
Hmm.
and calling my mistake out and learning and going. Because most of the times I see even now, like as the age passes by, that gap becomes really huge where we think, what will people think if I do this? What will people think? I'll just do it and I'll let people think whatever they want. I'll just laugh at it and I'll just keep moving on. So before people realize what happened, I'm like 10 steps ahead. You're
Yeah.
so ahead because, like, for me, if I want to do something, I want to do it.
Hmm.
For example, recent example
Hmm.
is for Mission ShaktiSAT, I reached out to a special broadcasting service, which is SBS
Yes.
media platform in Australia. It's a
A
federal
very
media
famous
platform.
radio in Australia.
Radio TV as well, SBS,
Okay. Yeah.
special broadcasting service. And for Mission ShaktiSAT, when Dr. Kasan was here in Sydney, I reached out to them in August
Mm-hmm.
2025. And they got to me, they were like, oh, Suk, we can't do it in August. Connect with me in November. And then they were like, connect with me in December. And then they were like, I'll talk to you in Jan. And then they were like, perhaps let's meet in Feb. I said, okay. Listen, I don't give up. I don't give up at all. So I met with them in Feb. The moment I walked into the SBS office, I knew very well I am going to come back here again. I am going to work here. I'm going to contribute. That was the first line I told myself the moment I set my foot there, because it is such a prestigious place. I'm my post graduation, though I'm an engineer. My mentor said I was very good at public relations, which I have no idea of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I did my post graduation in public relations and journalism. And I feel all these are great skills for one to acquire. It takes practice because communication is about practicing. It is not just that, yes, I've acquired it, and if you don't practice, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. It is like your muscle. So you have to keep working out on that. And,
That's a big jump. When you had engineering background, did it come naturally to you that I can switch my, choices and I can do something else for masters? Also, the job roles that you might be getting post engineering and post communication. What was the difference? And uh, I just want to tap into this mindset because still there are a lot of the families or a lot of the students who would feel that shifting won't happen like really quickly for them. Uh,
right. Only, that's a very good question, Aisha, because I'm just thinking only now as you ask this question, what was running in my mind?
mm,
Well, I never did anything because I'll get a job.
okay.
That was never like, not even once. I've thought that, oh my God, I need to acquire this so that I'm employable.
Mm.
I never had that thought in my mind ever,
So that
not
gives you
even once.
freedom to choose because you're not restricted, kind of.
Mm. Yes. And it also puts you in the wild
Mhm. Yes.
because, well, when I was 21, I was, having my own foundation. So when you have your own foundation, I think that the vastness started from when I was a kid. But then, even with the foundation, it is your own.
Mm.
You are a co-founder. So where do you start? Wow. Okay. You need an advisory board. You need a technical council. You need like, all set of people. And you need your programs that, will be sellable. You have to take it to the schools. You need to, set up the whole ecosystem, right?
Yes.
I enjoyed doing that.
Mm.
But what happened, like why, to answer your question, why did I move from engineering to public relations is as much as I love doing what I did in science tech space, especially I remember um, in Student Activity Center in IIT Madras. So SAC auditorium is where you have your IITians getting graduated. The graduation ceremony happens there. And when I walked there, I'm like, this is the place where we're going to have an event, and we were partners with IIT Madras at that point of time. And I never take no for an answer. So somehow I would be like, okay, this idea is not working. Let us make the other idea work. That is how my mind always runs. So I knew we were going to have something happening in Student Activity Center. So while I was discussing this and we were, just bringing this to life, I thought, okay, we'll have 100 robotics exhibits by school children. And okay, well, uni will also come in because back in 2012, 13, robotics exhibits, all like 100 of them, the media got so excited and interested. They're like,
Oh.
okay, we're coming to see. That's free publicity. That's PR for me, free PR without paying a single cent.
That's
I said, yeah,
amazing.
come over.
I
It was
need
good.
you on board for my startup as well.
Yes, because I honestly believe the PR. Interestingly, I took a session for the Global Space Enablers Network recently, like in March, for space tech startups and companies. Well, it was a good workshop because it was a reflection of what I did like 15 years ago, like which I continue to do because the media coverage should be a natural byproduct of something novel that you're trying to do. You should not pay for,
Yeah.
well, I'm very sorry, practicing PR. I shouldn't be saying there are so many PR agencies who actually have their livelihood on this. But what I'm trying to say is it is about nurturing creativity.
And
It is
also
about
like
impact.
at least in education, that should be the case. Um yeah, even if
Bring
this
novel ideas,
yeah.
bring impact through different thoughts. I would say in anything.
Hmm.
Because, why do PR agencies exist? Because you can't think different. You're not putting your brains to use.
Yeah.
So, okay, PR agencies are going to help you, but if you will not sustain because you don't have that original thinking, like learn to think when you're small, that is when you could actually start experimenting, start thinking. When you're growing big, definitely give opportunities to everyone around. That is very important.
Mm.
But when you're in your growing stage, you should try to experiment, establish all the name, like create a brand by yourself.
Yeah.
Don't piggy bank on others. Well, yeah, you'll pay a hefty amount. That's a different story for PR agencies. But try to, experiment. So these were the things that, because we didn't have a budget for PR or anything.
Mm.
So that is how I started able to come up with very new concepts. And interestingly, Aisha, I had people come to office, like, even though I didn't invite, the word went out that, okay, she's going to have 100 exhibits. And I was expecting to have 3,000 school students
Mhm.
coming for this event. I had people come to my office, and one thing I saw was because I was really young, I had people, and I was a girl, I had people put the weight of, you don't know, you're very young, you're too small for this. I have so much experience in this field. And this was kind of conversations I kept hearing. And whenever any negative, you can't do this comes, I'll be like, yeah, yeah, just 1 minute. I'll just run away from that place. I'm like, I don't want to be there.
Mm.
Because my mind works very differently. I've already envisioned what I want and I'm working like super hard towards it. So there's nothing in between me and the goal that I've set. It's only me and the goal. I will not let any person come between that. Yes, whatever I've set for myself is very huge. It's very hard. Like, when a common person thinks, what is she even talking about? She's gone mental. It's not possible. But I think,
Can I take a pause there for a bit because I do want to discuss this. Actually, recently now I am forgetting who said this, but I heard somewhere that be around people who are going to lift you up, not just criticize you, you know? So the thing that you are saying about your goal and people criticizing it, initially, like in our culture and also in the surroundings, I've heard this a lot that घर पे अगर तुम्हारी गलतियां निकल जाती है तो बाहर वाले कम निकाल पाते हैं. So even when they train you, like the people around you, your family, extended family, and they are like, we are criticizing to make things better for you, right? But then at a certain point, it becomes so very
too much.
critical and damaging in a way, and especially for uh, those critical years where you have a lot of ideas, you might not know the road to that. So I'm talking about the teenage years, right? And you might be dedicated, but you might not be aware of the actual needs to reach those places. So at that time, how important it is for you to realize and create a safe space for you, how to select those people who will not just, okay, ha, you are doing so, it's great. Who will not just appreciate you, but who will not be so critical that, that might damage you. So how to stay away from those kind of friends or people close to you? How do you put a...
Good question. Because things come only through experience. There's
Hmm.
no shortcut. You need to have that 10 slipper shots to get the 11th right. You can't escape all that. I'd be lying if I say, hey, these are the techniques if you follow. No, you
Mm.
can't be careful enough. So I learned I will not discuss about any of my work at home.
Okay.
And like my mom, like my mom's family, even now my mom would say, I don't understand what you're doing. I would be like, even I don't understand about it. Don't worry. It's simple. And we don't talk about work at all. My mom sees me in paper or TV or in the parliament speech when she sees, suddenly she'll become teary and she'll say, I'm so proud. I'll be like, okay, that's nice. And sometimes, when she sees me online at 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., she's like, are you not sleeping? What are you thinking? I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I will sleep in a bit. So, yeah. So I don't, when you're talking about work, do not take things to heart when people in your family circle, they say, oh, you can't do it. And I would say anywhere, anybody is trying to impose, maybe out of concern, out of jealousy, or it can be anything. You need to weigh from where that advice or where that is coming from. But if you notice, any advice is coming from a place like that advice is not for you. That person is living their experience
Yeah.
or they are telling what
Yes.
they have gone through to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. And they
If
might
you
not
want
be
to take it,
aware about it as well. And they don't
because
want to
my
harm
path,
you, but hmm.
right, my path, no one can get it because it is
Hmm.
all over the place.
Hmm.
Even to be honest, even I don't get it
Hmm.
because I don't actually put efforts to understand what is happening in life. I just go with the flow because every skill, whatever, I've acquired is super important.
Hmm.
And I think learn what that skill is teaching you. So
Hmm.
we all think, okay, यहाँ मैं यदि ये करूँगी तो मैं इतना पैसा मिलेगा क्या वो मिलेगा ये मिलेगा no,
Hmm.
that's okay, everything is a byproduct, but are you good at your craft? So we don't focus on our craft. We always focus on, I want to become a celebrity influencer. I want to become a whatever. Yeah, you can become. There is discipline for that. Are you ready for that grind?
Hmm.
Without doing hard work, without being ready for a grind, if you just say, I want to become this, I want to, maybe you might pay money or you might, somehow, get famous overnight. But do you have the substance in you to back up? Because by end of the day, if you don't, you feel so hollow. When you really have done something, like literally I have interviews every other day. And I would actually tell people, let us focus in this angle or let us do other. And there are so many stories to also tell. So it is easy. But at a time, it'll become, I would tell people, even I've done it in the past, where at a time like these interviews, more than giving it for the viewers, it is a good reflection for myself. That
Yes.
is how I see that. And the moment I feel it is becoming monotonous because I've told enough to
Hmm.
people, okay, I know maybe not through your medium, but I've spoken enough whatever I have to do,
Yeah.
then I would just stop. I would just go focus, work on my project, get it up and running. Then, the next journey starts. That's how I was able to be in three world record books.
Okay.
And yeah, now I've been appointed as an expert reviewer for the eighth UNESCO Science Report for
Oh my God.
gender equality chapter. And a lot of, yeah, work going on and talking about SBS. And that is how I felt while going there to be interviewed. I'm like, no, I know I'm going to work here. So you should first get that feeling from inside and you have to give your best because everything is energy in life. What I see these days is people are not, they're even afraid to dream or say, I want this, I want that. They say, I want this and I want that only in material things.
Yeah.
It is not in achieving something. And what happens is, hey, what do you do? Well, if you're going to start like that, who is going to even like resonate with your energy?
Yeah, I
We
know that if
don't
you
do.
are a billionaire, it hardly matters if you are not. I can totally relate to what you're saying, and lately about manifestation, the videos that are coming up and the people who are suggesting those techniques. It's not about the particular things that you can take, but energetically, if you align yourself with um the inherent stuff that goes into those kind of things, uh, then I think that is there is no chance that it doesn't work that way. You have to.
Totally. And Aisha, I should mention this while talking about manifestation, right?
Mm.
I honestly feel if you truly want something from all your heart,
Mm.
that thing will come finding you. That
Yeah.
is what I've experienced recently, 2 weeks back. I experienced this where, have you heard about Sheryl Sandberg?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She's the former CEO of Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And her book, Lean in Circle, is something, I was reading. I loved it. I really loved the way, she well put about the scenario of women. And this is well 16 years back, but even today it is relevant. And her book talks about how women is stuck in the weight of should I talk now or should I be quiet? Because when I talk, I'm seen as being arrogant. I'm seen as being very dominating. But if I'm silent, I'm seen as very soft. I'm seen as, no, she can't do the work. But a man is not judged, whatever he does.
Yeah.
It's only for the women, all the labels. So I could totally resonate to that right from the start of my career because I was the only girl.
Mm.
And I would little touch upon your earlier question about how I was able to easily switch between, engineering to my post-graduation public relations. Being the only girl, people kept throwing that weight. So while I was sharing about the 3,000 people, the PR and everything, I had the people come to our office and say, hey, if you talk to me for 1 hour,
Mm.
you will get 3 years of my experience. And in my experience, I'm telling you, 30 years I've been in education industry, with the media, everything. If 100 people come, it's a huge success for you. I heard this. I said, thank you, sir. I ran away from that room. I didn't want to be in that room. I felt I didn't even ask you. And my
Ha.
co-founder is looking at me like, I said, don't even bring him to the office. I ran away. And after running away, um, I started calling a lot of people. Actually, thanks to him, because I felt, oh my God, I look like an idiot if I'm going to have only 100 people. I had 5,000 people turn up. And the same man without any, थोड़ा भी शर्म नहीं था वो मेरे पास आके बोला कि you know what, I want you to run our education expo. I
Yeah.
said, no, sir, talking to you gives so much experience. I think you should start talking to yourself too. You would be able to do a lot more. बोल के I just ran away from the place. So
Hmm.
I see people are sharing things based on what their exposure is, their experience. And seeing so many people giving their faltu nyan to me and always crushing us down because you're a girl.
Hmm.
Your place is not this. So I was
I think
tired
it's
of that.
more than girl, female and male. It's more about feminine and masculine in traditional sense.
Right.
So,
I'm talking
so
about this, discrimination or this
yeah, yeah,
difference
but
back in
no, no,
2012 and 13 and 14. Now things, yeah, slowly,
yeah,
with
yeah.
policies and things are changing.
Now things are drastically changed.
Yes. But
Even this,
still,
should I talk or not, the thing that you were saying, I can totally understand that today, as the things have really drastically changed, we don't even realize that these were the things. It's relevant still, but I mean, we kind of have forgotten that this really existed very
it's still
strongly.
relevant.
Mm.
Still, if you look at it, look at the leadership. How many of them are there in tech leadership?
Yeah.
No, you can count your
Yeah.
fingers. No, we don't have them. Still, it's relevant.
Yes.
And we might, okay, maybe our freedom of speech has, gone high because, again, I'm like, why do we have freedom of speech? Why should we at first have freedom?
मतलब
Who
it
is
should
giving us the freedom?
be
Who is
yeah.
giving that to who? Like, those are all my
हाँ
questions. But okay,
हाँ
chalo, okay.
हाँ
Let us not get into rebellious mode. So, yes, we have freedom of speech. We have all these things. But I think we're only speaking. If you look at the action,
हम्म
so, okay, I'll take a step back in answering about how the transition happened seamlessly. I was fed up in, being crushed, in being that only girl, no respect. So I'm like, I'm done with all this. I don't want to be. And my mentor said I'm naturally very good with public relations. And I know I will be moving out of the country. So if I'm going to move out of the country, I have to leave my foundation behind. So after marriage, that is when I think 3 months, exactly 3 months after marriage, I told my husband we both are going to enroll for our post graduation. He's like, "What kind of a person does that?" I said, 3 months. We really took it slow. And he's like, "What?" I'm like, I'm never used to like breaks or anything. I work 24 by 7, no Saturday, no Sunday, anything. So that is how, my journey with post graduation started. And I love exams. Mom was telling that even the day before, where my mom is giving her Hindi exam, by the way. Like she teaches Hindi too, and she's giving exam. She's like, she was telling my daughter, I'm joining the path of your mom. And she's like, what happened? And she's like, your mom loves giving exams, and I'm starting to give. I love exams because
Wow.
I
So
think
your
it tests
mom is
our,
in Chennai?
yes, she's in Chennai.
Mhm.
And I think, these exams and all these give that adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
And it just kind of is a yardstick on where we belong. So that is why I was able to seamlessly switch over
Mhm.
and just take opportunities and go. And talking about that, equality and the freedom of speech,
Mhm.
I honestly feel, Aisha, I especially want to share this here because, yes, though things look that they are different
Mhm.
in this time and age, what actually is happening is we are exercising or we're trying to exercise the freedom of speech at home, where to our partner, whether it's man or women, really doesn't matter. So to our partner, the 50-50 comes, we are like, it should come from home. I wash the vessels, you should wash the clothes. 50-50 will never happen at home.
Mhm.
It's 90-10 or 80-20 maximum. Maybe you might be the one doing that 80% today. Your partner might be the one doing 80% tomorrow. That's it. But the real 50-50, the real equality should not be at home. Most of us, we spend all the time and efforts talking about the equality at home that we miss out the big picture. We fizzle out and then we separate. We say we are not meant for each other. No, at home, it is not. Don't bring your fractions and arithmetics at home. Outside, are women having that place in policy making? When you're raising a
What do you have to
capital,
talk? What do you have to say about the recent bill that has been passed in India?
well, about the women and the quota, is that? I heard about
Women,
it.
yeah, women in
Yes. And
parliament,
based on the
30%.
population,
Yeah,
based on the population and percentage, yeah, I did hear about that.
yeah. That's a big achievement, I would say. But yeah, of course, there are various um, things that we will have to, as a community, look at um, moving
But it
forward.
is a good
Yeah,
start
yeah,
because it is getting official and yeah, it's very important. Because I think even with Mission ShaktiSAT, the reason why we are focusing with girls, you need more girls because we will think 100 times before waging a war
yeah.
or before, yeah,
There will be just countries not talking to each other.
so this is not the right way, We don't throttle, any resources. We don't kill, we don't bomb, a very thin line between missile and a rocket. And women will think so many, will think 1,000 times before doing any of these things. So yeah, long way
Hoping
to
for the
go.
best.
Yes, long way to go. And yeah. So
What
I think
are few, sorry.
I think when we talk about equality, it is about when a man is raising capital for their startup. The
Mhm.
real equality is, are women getting the same value for the startup? If it is a male founded and female founded, always a female founded gets less than a male founded capital
Well,
raise.
I am in Gujarat currently, and this initiative that is being inaugurated by the president, her start is the platform, and there were roughly 3,000 women-led startup applications, and we were one of the 350 that got selected.
Nice.
So yeah, so what I am seeing is through such.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. But what I'm seeing is that connecting with all these 350 women and being in sessions with them, my notions of women not being able to voice their opinion or think about something that they can build, something large that they can build. Also women like you know, co my students who did PhD along with me, my friends, and my community. Over the last 10 years, I've seen so many women doing so much wonderful work. And even in the startup area now, that
Mhm.
all the notions whichever we had while watching those kind of regressive Bollywood movies, or the notions that came from the surroundings, like I am one of the very few girls who have studied till master's level or has done something and tried and developed the career in my community. Just yeah, so we were exceptions back then, but now I see so much, so larger a picture where I see people like you. And now, I mean, for me, it's really hard to say that there are any kind of boundaries that actually can be put up on women who really want to achieve. So, but I can totally see the point. I have come a long way, so I might not be able to relate, but I do
Mhm.
have about 99% of the women in my community who would not think of, let's say, the thing that you are saying, embroideries and engineering. So in our community, we are a business led community, right?
Mhm.
So if now that they have opened the boundaries, women at their houses can work, but
Mhm.
it's generally in this business of either designing clothes or designing something or the other. But at least those kind of gates are open, but still it should not hamper the work that has to happen in
Yes.
managing the house.
Yes.
So
That
so
is the case even here, Aisha. Today
yeah,
I was
yeah.
at the CSIRO. I was taking a bunch of students for an astronomy lecture. I had to come back to my home. I had to make some khichdi
Hmm.
before I
Yeah,
was heading for
yeah,
another meeting. So
yeah.
I think that, and mainly I'm doing that so I have peace of mind. I don't want, the people at my home eating junk, or I don't want my husband burning the vessels, and that is a bigger trouble or, irritation for me to handle with. So, as you rightly say,
Hmm.
well, okay, forget in certain communities, in certain part of countries, even in developed nations, even engineers,
Hmm.
who migrate to other countries, like in Australia, it really feels painful to have them take a back seat and, be on a comfort. But yeah, well, Australia is a very different country where we have to start somewhere for local experience, and definitely it's not the tech job or anything that you've worked on. So that is what our Amos Foundation is actually aiming for, to give dignity to
Yeah, give
technology.
us a
And
brief about Amos Foundation, please.
so with all this journey
Hmm.
that has been happening, with Mission ShaktiSAT not finding a home in Australia, and with a lot of gaps that we see, especially with migrant technologists coming, to this country, we don't have a good starting point. We either work for supermarkets or for petrol stations or for Uber or for restaurants. And I think that really has to change. And it took 8 years for me to go through very different jobs,
Hmm.
and be it in sales or be it in public relations, into journalism, like, yeah, into acting, and hosting over 700 shows. I feel enough is enough. We need to give that dignity because we've earned that engineering degree. And when you're talking about you don't see any limitations for women, I would like to slightly add or differ to it, because we are limiting ourselves too much.
Huh.
We might not have external limitations, because I see you are really empowered. So you think, hey, I don't see there is any problem here. But, mind plays all kind of games. So I authored my first book
Hmm.
after my granddad passed away. And
Hmm.
my granddad has authored over 90 books. And my mentor said, you're very lazy. You're such a lazy goose. You should no, we should write. He's been telling that to me for the past 6, 7 years. I'll start writing the book, then I'll be like, who am I to write? I don't want to write it. I'll start, I will stop. This
Huh.
was kind of a continuous journey. And that made me realize, after my granddad passed away, that's when I realized, wow, what's happening? And then I wrote this book on procrastination. It's called
Mhm.
Excuses to Empowerment. Because one thing I wanted to understand was I'm not lazy, I'm
Mhm.
always working. But something, happens in my mind that I would sabotage my own, work or progress. For example, if I have to send an email, I'd, it just takes 2 minutes, but I'd be like, you know what, I have to put a proper neat signature. For the signature, I need the website ready. So for website getting ready, I need
Ah.
this. I need
Oh,
so
I can see that happening with me as well.
so these are all self-sabotage. If you're
Mm.
I would say only one thing for the viewers. If you are able to if you're able to cut your signal to noise ratio,
Yeah.
that is a pure success. What I mean by that is you need to send an email.
Mm.
Simple. Just send that damn email. Don't think about I don't have signature, I have to put a neat Canva design, I have to do this. No,
Yeah.
send
Yeah.
that email.
Yeah.
That only action builds momentum. Only momentum brings results. If you want to rule the world, okay, forget anything. Even if you want to earn like 10,000 rupees,
Mm.
but if you're going to keep on, not taking the action, you'll
Mm.
not get a single rupee. Forget, I'm talking very simple thing. I'm not even talking about bigger goals or anything.
Yeah.
And I have noticed that with all the global leaders that I've worked with,
Mm.
it is about action, immediate action. Immediately they'll jump on things and they will get it done.
Tell us a bit about your interaction with APJ Abdul Kalam.
That I think it was through my mentor, Mr. Prime Point Srinivasan, because Srinivasan sir and Dr. APJ, they've been friends for over 40 years.
Mhm.
Very close friend. So my mentor, he used to be advisor for the media department of College of Engineering Guindy, and Dr. APJ used to teach, I think, aeronautical there. That is how they knew each other. And I bumped into my mentor. It's been 15 years since I've connected with my mentor. And this man, he's more than a father figure. He's literally everything to me. And I think accidents happen sometimes in life, and you need to know, yes, if it's a good accident, just stick to it. And most of the things I do now is I'm doing it for him
Mhm.
because my first book was because of him. Second book, okay, the first book I launched in College of Engineering, Gindi. The second book I launched in front of the Parliamentary Affairs Minister of India.
Oh.
Yes, so it was called, it was a tribute to my mentor actually, but I was talking about the mentor code. So, what I meant by that was in today's fast-paced world, we're all talking about mentorship, coaching, and we have like mind coaches, a lot of people, right? But on what basis are we choosing our mentors? That I wanted to actually highlight because when you say mentorship, it's a two-way street. It's
Hmm.
not always take, 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 or it's
Yes.
not always give, give, give.
Yes.
Because there should be respect.
Hmm.
If there is no respect, if there is no equality, it will collapse.
Hmm.
And because your mentor is very popular, you think you can pay like 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakhs, and if you think you're going to acquire that glory, rubbish. Your mentor or your so-called person is going to increase the bank balance, and that's all. Goodbye. On what basis? So mentor is not like I'm paying money and you're receiving. It doesn't work like that.
Hmm.
On what basis? What are you learning from that person? So I would say for particular skills, I have different people.
Yes.
If I'm going to ask a complete, carefree, happy-go-lucky person about a family advice, I'll be a stupid, right? No, he's not the right person to, talk about it. And if I'm going to go to a spiritual guru,
Mhm.
and say, you know what, I just feel like having a drink here. Can you please recommend me? He would give some yarn, and you'd be like, seriously? So you should know whom to ask what.
Mm.
And that is very important. Ki choose the people. And again, what are you going to give back?
Mm.
Be very clear with that. Without that, if you think you will have big dreams and you can piggy bank on someone else's glory, that will never ever happen, even if it looks like it's going to happen
Mm.
in 1 week, 1 month, 2 months. I actually pray that earlier it
The way.
collapses,
Yeah.
quickly you will get it to your sense. If it's
Yes.
going to happen after 1 year or 2 year, it will be a disaster. You will get into depression,
Mm.
which I don't want to.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
of the people are piggybacking. There's no uh, substitute to hard work,
Hmm.
any field. If you do not understand that, and this generation says, smart work, and only if you work so hard, you fail like 100 times, you will know that smart jugad.
Yeah.
Without that, how will you know smart work? You will not know. And that determine, and I have to talk to you about your book.
Uh-huh.
The beautiful about Rosalind Franklin and about Ada Lovelace, because I've written about them as well in my third book.
Yeah.
And I felt I cried so much while writing about it because I wanted to celebrate these women for the International Women's Day.
Hmm.
1700s and in 1800s. Now we are talking about so much, but those days there was no respect, there was no money, there was no reward for what work that these women were doing, right? And first place, they were not meant to be doing all that.
Yeah.
And
True.
secondly, even if
Yeah.
they were like, okay, if you want to do, just shut up, sit in a corner and do.
Yeah.
By any chance, by accident, if you're going to have a breakthrough, it'll not be in your name, it'll be in your male counterpart's name. They said
As big a
ACSA.
person as Marie Curie.
Yeah,
She was not
exactly.
rewarded. Yeah.
Exactly. And Anna Atkins, we have so many of them actually. And we have Elizabeth Mallet, if you know about her.
Mhm.
Um, she is a woman back in 1702
Mhm.
who brought the concept of news,
Oh.
which is structured as a everyday thing. Because earlier,
Oh
what they
my
used to
God.
do, yeah,
Really?
earlier, what people used to do?
Mm-hmm.
As and when anything comes in, they will just circulate it. That's all.
Oh,
There was no
okay.
everyday news structure or anything.
That's amazing.
And Elizabeth Mallet, she was the one, Daily Current is the publishing, her newspaper that was published every single day.
Oh my God.
And
Oh.
this lady's photo is
Hmm.
nowhere available. I could only find the Daily Current's,
Oh.
cutout. It was March 1st, I think. March 1st, 1702.
So she is mother of mass media communication.
Literally, like news, everyday news. And
My
from there
God.
came your advertisements and, everyday news, different columns, and, all that evolved. But her face, we don't. So, as the years go by, we will not even remember their names.
Yeah.
And why I'm sharing this is this generation, though we have the support, we have all, it's really nice to know, right? 3,000 people from a place in Gujarat, 350 are being shortlisted. Look at the
No, not
opportunities.
Gujarat, Pan India, sorry.
And India, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, wow. It's a huge number, right? 3,000 women, we're talking about only women. And
Yeah.
350 being shortlisted, it is huge. And look at these opportunities. And if you compare that with what, those people did,
Yeah.
they didn't have. So I can actually compare if you if you know a little about
I love it.
quantum,
Yeah.
right? So what is quantum? With a lot of restrictions,
Mm.
right? You have the more the restrictions, the
Mm.
more efficiency. That's what is life.
Mm.
The more, smaller the area, its efficiency is like even more like, it
Mm.
is amazing. So I think that is what happened to the lives of the women in those days. They were
Mm.
not allowed to do, they were really restricted. Still they didn't talk. It was only through action. Now it is only talking. Yes, freedom of speech. I want this, I want that. If you think
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
we as women, I'll talk only from the women's perspective. I don't want to talk about men. I don't know. They are from Mars or wherever. I don't want to talk. Especially, I'm talking only about women because I'm from a home where we are six generations of girls. No boys born in the family. My
Really?
daughter is the seventh generation.
Oh
Yes.
my God. Wow.
No boys at all. We're all girls in our family. So I can talk about girls, especially this generation. What I'm seeing is the more you have the conversation of equality happening in home, which you should actually have in your workplace or elsewhere.
Ah,
You don't do
ah.
it there. You're having it at home. Home is not peaceful,
Hmm.
and your home is
No, that's
splitting.
true. Yeah. You
Your
have
home is
to make,
splitting.
yeah.
Okay, you're looking for peace, and the ultimate peace is I want to split.
Hmm.
Okay, when you're splitting, have you thought about the economies of what it costs to split two separate homes?
Hmm.
You pay electricity bill, gas bill, whatever it is. Every bill you end up paying, rental. Okay, if you're lucky, okay, if you're going to have a home or whatever. The home comes with mortgage too, by the way. It doesn't come mortgage free, right? So what you could achieve in harmony and peace together and create a lot of impact. We have the false opinion of equality. We try to bring it at home. We split because I have been on this boat in 2022. The only I was super busy with the world record events that I work for 20 hours, 22 hours. I don't have time at home, to be honest. Well, then I should be polite enough and say, hey, can you please do it? No. Why can't you do it? That is how, because we're talking equality here. That's very important, right? And we can show it only to our spouses. How inconvenient or how convenient.
How convenient.
And the only conversations at one point I had with my husband was, why is the dustbin here? Why are the plates here? Why haven't we thrown the trash?
Hmm.
And I said, I'm done with it. I don't want this marriage at all. It's too much. And that is when my daughter happened. She was an accident baby after 8 years of marriage, unplanned. But yeah, that is when it actually, I'm so grateful for all those incidents. We almost spoke to the lawyers actually, and they
Oh.
wanted like $20,000 as fee. I'm like, what? For per person, 20,000 for me, 20,000 for him.
I
And
will
now
just live with each other.
they're going to fight over how am I, I'm really skilled in snatching your husband's earnings and I'll give you 50%.
Oh
And
my
my
God.
husband's lawyer is like, you know what, your wife will, put all these cases. I am very good in protecting your assets and giving it to you. We just came together and I'm like, see what is happening. We loved each other so much. Seriously, I loved him. Though it was kind of an arranged marriage, but we thought if families are not agreeing, we'll elope and we'll get married. That is how much we loved each other. Now we are 10 years, and I always tell him I can't live alone.
Hmm.
I will have a partner. For finding what a known devil is better than an unknown angel. I keep telling him I have, no intentions of leaving you, and it's 10 years. Come on. And yeah, my daughter is exact replica of my husband, and I actually love her even more for that. And I would say life is actually beautiful. And, talking these arithmetics at home will only actually break your home. And if you think about it, it doesn't make any economic sense.
Hmm.
Of really, and this is what your society, like, the system wants you to be in this. They
Hmm.
don't want, because Mission Shakti Sat didn't doesn't involve lot of money. It involves lot of efforts
Hmm.
and willpower. That is what is the main ingredient for this. Because everyone is like, oh, did you have massive donors? Did you have massive budgets? How are you able to have 9,000 girls?
Hmm.
When we say it's all free, no one is able to believe. We are just bringing all the rebels, all the people who did not have a great journey. We're just trying to channelize that to a good purpose.
Right.
And I personally strongly believe there is a thin line between a rebel who would turn to be an antisocial element or who would turn to do something good.
Right.
Very thin line. If
Yes.
we lose hope on the society, we'll be like, I don't care anything about the society. Forget it, my food, I don't care. So this is where the wars or, unpleasant things, terrorism starts.
Mm.
But the same, hurt people, they're really not happy with, what's happening around. You give them a purpose, a positive purpose. They put all that energy to creating something
Like
beautiful like Mission ShaktiSAT.
That was really lovely talking to you. I think we can keep on going, but like knowing such stories and about such programs and the people and their thinking behind it really will be valuable for young students and kids and their families. So great. Thank you for coming here. We'll take a break for this interview here, but very soon there will be, I am sure, a lot more engaging things to talk about, a lot more programs to share with our community, and we might do another episode again with you. So, thank you.
Thank you for everything you do, Aisha, and wishing you all luck with these episodes, with things beyond, and with your books as well. It's really nice. Keep going, and let's create a beautiful world.
Super. On that note, see you next time.